Hello and welcome to June. I mean, it's June the 4th as I videoed this, but it's the first time in June I'm talking to you. I have a coffee. Thank you for joining me. If you don't know me, my name is Deborah Carr. I write historical fiction in that name. I also write contemporary romances as Georgina Troy, and I've written some thrillers as Ella Drummond. So thank you for joining me, as I said. If this is your first time here, I'm so glad you found me. Do think of subscribing if you like me nattering on. I do a short video of about 1 to 15 minutes, I suppose, each week, and I also post a short of something. It could be from one of my walks with my 3 dogs, or just some bookish topic, or something that springs to mind. So as short as just under a minute, so, or anything under a minute. So yes, do subscribe if you wish to. If you've been here before, thank you very much for coming back again. So what have I been doing this last week? I have been working on the first draft. It's out in October, so I really don't have time to waste, of Hollyhock Farm 4. So this series, like all my Georgina Troy series, are set on the island of Jersey, where I live. And this story is a little bit different. So this currently, because my editor hasn't seen it yet, so structural edits can be a massive rewrite. So there can be a lot of changes. I hate structural edits, but we shall see. So currently at the moment, this is Callum's story. If you've read the series, you will have met Callum in book 2. He's a friend of Zach's. He is a DJ at a radio station here on the island. We have a few. We have 2 at least. And what's happened for him is, his grandfather, it's his 80th birthday. The whole family are surprising him with this big party. Everyone's coming over for it to the island, and unfortunately at the last minute, it's the height of summer, the venue is cancelled. Something dreadful happens at the hotel where they have booked to not only hold the event but to stay, and they had to find somewhere else to hold it. So he is completely at a loss. It's his grandfather's 80th. You don't get 2 80ths in your lifetime, so he struggles and eventually finds this beautiful manor house. It's a lot, but his grandfather's worth it. Very exciting. One of the guests that he interviews at his radio stations is Riley Sharp. Riley Sharp is, to the public, a very charming, very good-looking actor who has been filming a series on the island. Behind the scenes, he's a bit of a diva, and so there were unnecessary delays and issues. So he and his assistant, Tasha, have had to come back for 2 weeks just to do a little bit of extra filming on the island, and they need somewhere to stay because they were also going to stay in that hotel. So Callum interviews them at the radio station, and Tasha is at a loss of what to do when this incident happens after the interview, and she contacts Callum to say, you know, you are a radio host, is there any way you could do, I don't know, a shout out for, you know, keep it anonymous, but for Riley and I, we need someone to stay for a few weeks. Anyway, there is a cottage in the grounds at the manor house. It's a very beautiful cottage. It isn't what I would call a cottage. It's a beautiful house. And he suggests, why don't they move in there? It's completely private, because Riley's very understandably, being famous, you know, protective of his privacy. And so they stay there. And an awful lot happens from that. So that's what I'm working on at the moment. I will finish it by Friday. So I'm excited. I hope my readers like it. It is the last book in this Hollyhock Farm series. I've really enjoyed writing the series, and I'm very grateful that readers have thankfully enjoyed reading it, looking at the reviews. So that's very nice. So yes, the 3rd book was out in April, and I think I've probably got about over 160 something reviews already, which is really exciting. And this book is out in October. So that's what I'm doing at the moment. That's all I'm doing, apart from walking my dogs. This morning I met my mum and my godmother and my cousin at Ransom's. Ransom's is a gorgeous garden centre here in Jersey, and they have lovely shops, and as well as, you know, plants and flowers, and a fabulous restaurant. And we had brunch there, so that was very nice. And now I'm back here to work. And as soon as I've finished that, I will be working on edits for The Witching Hour, my next Deborah Carr book, coming out with HarperCollins actually in this year. I was going to say next year, but it's not. It's this year. So it comes out in November. So I loved writing that book. Slightly different that is to me from what I'm used to writing. It's still historical, it's a time slip, and I've done that before, but I haven't done the supernatural aspect of it. So that's very exciting. So witches and privateers and all sorts of exciting stuff. So that one is set, if you don't already know, during the occupation, and it's also set during the English Civil War, but on the island of Jersey. So lots happening. And once those two are done, I always say I'll do this, but I intend to take off at least a month for the summer. I need to have some time out. I've been sorting through my house. I have so much stuff in my house. I've lived here for 23 years with my late husband, and the amount of stuff is just too much. So I've been slowly working through different aspects of, I mean, we've got a garage which has got so much stuff in it. You know, it's that sort of thing when you've lived somewhere for a long time. I don't know about you, but the longer I live somewhere, the more I tend to gather stuff. And I'm quite good at bringing stuff into the house, but as far as getting rid of it, I'm not as bad as he was. But it's good to actually I just want to end up keeping the things that actually are useful. I mean, there's all sorts. So that's what I'll be doing. And little Claude, so last week I mentioned that Claude was diagnosed with, Claude's my smallest rescue. I've got 3 rescues. Claude's my littlest one, and he was diagnosed with type 1 diabetes, so I have to inject him twice a day. And he has been such a poppet about it. He's so good. I'm now quite used to it. I have one of those pen things, so rather than a syringe, I had to load a new canister in it the other day and make sure there are no air bubbles. I used up more insulin than I should have done down the sink trying to make sure. It looked like air bubbles to me. I don't know, it's all very traumatizing, but we're getting there, and he's been very good about it. The one that seems to be struggling the most with Claude's diagnosis is Rudy, because the treats have been cut out, because it's not fair not giving Claude a treat and giving the other 2 a treat. So the treats have been cut out. So Rue is struggling a bit because Rue loves his food. I don't know if you can see him. I will actually see if I can lift this up. There's little Rue. You right there, Roo? Yes, he doesn't like the fact there's no treats. He's not impressed at all. But thankfully, he actually hasn't worked out that it's Claude's. The reason is because of Claude. So that's what I'm doing. So I suppose I should get on. One of the things I was going to mention, actually, during lockdown, my son was living away, my daughter was living away, my mother was living away, and I found it very, very stressful not knowing when I'd next see them. And I was extremely busy with my 2 blonde plotter friends with our online platform, My VLF. It was manically busy because, of course, the world shut down, and we were called upon to put on all the literary, or not all, but a huge amount of literary events throughout that lockdown period. And at the same time, I was obviously writing books. So it was a very stressful time for lots of reasons. And my sister put me in contact. Excuse, there's tractors going past. I live fairly close to where I've set Hollyhock Farm. So lots of farms around me. And this is the book that really, really helped me calm down. Now, you'll see there's lots of stickies in there. And all I did was, it really helped sort of ground me, sort of center me. I know this is a massively best-selling book. There are various different ones as well as ones, I don't know, I have got a couple of others, but this is the one I've obviously looked at most. And all I do every day is open it up, and I would read whatever was on the day. For example, I'll read you a very short one. This is day 30. Planet Earth and humanity need you. They need you, and that is why you are here. And I think it was little things like that, because when you're very, very stressed, when I was certainly at that time very, very stressed, you sort of, everything becomes a bit much, and you can't actually see straight enough to find a way to be calm. So, for example, day 34, this one here is think good thoughts, speak good words, take good actions. 3 steps that will bring more to you than you can ever imagine. And I just every day read a different page, and I did whatever that said, and it, as well as my writing and everything else I had to do, but it really just sort of helped. So if you're going through a stressful period right now, or if you just want something to sort of look at that's quite I don't know, maybe different to what you normally do, I can recommend The Daily Teachings. So it's The Secret by Rhonda Byrne. I love that book, as you can tell. So I better get on with my writing because this book is not going to finish itself. So from Callum and Tasha and Riley and Libby, I haven't mentioned Libby to you, but you'll have to read the book to find out who Libby is. I will wish you farewell for now, and I better get on with my writing. I hope you have a great rest of your week.